Greetings, aviation enthusiasts and pals. Welcome once again to Nocturnal Simulations. This evening, we're diving into the recent update from Black Square's TBM A50. You can get this update from the Just Flight store, where you got the aircraft itself. Just go ahead and get that downloader and installer. Get the installer downloaded again. Sorry, words are hard as usual. Tonight our journey kicks off in Venice, and we're set to land in Innsbruck for a hopefully thrilling approach. We'll see what the weather's like when we get there. Quick note, your continuous support has been deeply heartwarming, and if you'd like to extend this support, find the Buy Me a Coffee link and others in the description below. I'm truly amazed by the vibrant community we've built together, all immersing in the fascinating realm of flight simulation. And for those keen on the Pimax Crystal, I've got some exciting news. They've recently reached out to me, and along with my discount code below, you can snag a complimentary accessory valued at up to $199. If you place your order between tomorrow, October 10th, and October 30th, you can get this offer. When you order, you'll simply need to leave a comment specifying your choice of one of the three. You can get the DMOS earphones, which I have on my headset, and it's amazing, the Lighthouse faceplate, or the optic cable. With that, let's go ahead and return to the cockpit, and we'll pull up the update from Just Flight's website and start rolling through that. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so scrolling through their website here, one of the first things I think a lot of people were complaining about were the aerodynamics of the airplane. One of my biggest complaints was actually the extremely long flare that you would have while landing. Anyway, so they've increased the dimension, or I guess they've matched the dimensions of the pilot operating handbook. Increased the stability in gusty and turbulent conditions, which I am thankful for because it was a bit bouncy. And the one I like the most is the increased propeller drag for less floating. The floating of this aircraft was one of the things that I really didn't fully understand, because I've always understood turboprops. Once you pull that throttle back, you basically just have an air brake up in front of the airplane. So, moving on, it's got the correct propeller beta angle and smoother torque, improved torque and ITT tables for more accurate performance. So we'll monitor that on climb out and cruise here. Increased takeoff torque effects and accurate trim positions. I'm assuming that means we may want to be in the trim position on the rudder. I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly what that means. Improved icing effects and de-icing boots. I was surprised that we didn't have de-icing boots when we first got the airplane. I was under the impression we were going to get that immediately, so I was a little bit confused whenever you looked on the de-ice and nothing really happened. Everyone was complaining that, this is part of the basic model from MSFS. Why don't we have it here? Well, the 850 is a from the ground up airplane. It's not the default aircraft like they typically do with their internal updates. Ice on the windows now will crystallize from the outside in, so you can see that in this picture here. That'll be a nice effect instead of just being one wash of ice across the screen there. And then airframe ice will remain when the leading edge ice is shed. So whenever we activate the boots here, we should see the airframe still have ice on it, but the leading edge clean up. And heated cowlings will now de-ice separately. This one's kind of cool. The St. Elmo's fire and static discharge. So the airframe electrical charge has been calculated now, and you'll get windshield static discharge effects. Static Wicks St. Elmo's fire corona discharge. You can see the screenshot here. I'm kind of wanting to go find a thunderstorm and fly in it. I don't know about you guys, but this thing, it looks pretty cool. You get like lightning bolts shed across the windshield. I've never seen that in any simulation of any aircraft.
Are they going to... So is the lightning going to hit one side and then redirect another way, or have they implemented that yet?
It doesn't say. It just shows a screenshot here with a short description.
Okay.
They also added wheel chocks. You can, do your run-ups or whatever wheel chocks on if you want them, or you can release your parking brakes to help them cool off. I don't think brake pad heat is modeled yet, though. The retrieved and deployed in the baggage compartment. You can actually look over your shoulder and see them, so you can just kind of click on them from there. And my other biggest complaint was the exterior lights, which they appear to have updated. I don't know if we'll see them at the end of this flight tonight. We might be late enough. If not, we can change the time at the very end and check them out. But the landing lights are now brighter. Navigation and taxi lights have been improved. Landing light housing illumination visible from cockpit. Landing light. Oh, yeah, if you looked over at the wing, you couldn't see the landing lights from the cockpit. It was kind of weird. And then new disorienting strobe light bounce effects in clouds. That'll be interesting. Along with solar calculations for smooth cockpit display backlighting. Solar calculations for smooth cockpit display backlighting. Oh, it's probably for the Garmin 870. Or I'm sorry, the Garmin 750. I guess that it does better modeling of the solar's effects inside the cockpit, so that it will do the automatic backlighting and whatnot better. So that'll be interesting to see how well that works, because I found myself in the past having to turn down the 750 a few times, just because it was getting dark and it really wasn't following too well with the backlight. Okay, so that's that. We'll go ahead and hop back in the cockpit. I've got Haley, Cameron, and Mike. Mike is helping his son fix a water heater, so he may be in and out just a little bit. Cameron, I think, is going to do another flight, so he won't be in here during the flying with us necessarily. But Haley, are you all set up?
I am. Are you guys here at the airport?
Yes.
Let's
see.
Am I not seeing you guys again?
It should be. How do you toggle the new wheel chucks? So currently they are not out. If you look over your shoulder in the aircraft, you see this little bar right here. That's them. You can actually click them from the cockpit seat there, or you can kind of look over the back of the seat and click them right there. So now we should be able to see them. Hey, C-130. Yeah, it's definitely a nice weather for Venice. That's for sure, Peter. So now we got the wheel chucks out here. I did do a quick run up and forgot the wheel chucks, and they do hold you in position.
Interesting.
So put them back in there just to show you guys what I meant. Looking over your shoulder, you can see one of the yellow tapes right there. Click on that. Now they're out there. Click in the same spot again. They're gone. So that takes care of that. All right, let's go ahead and get this thing closed up.
Whereabouts are you guys sitting at the moment? Because like I said, do you see me? I don't see you guys at all.
I'm in a Airbus over in Seattle at the moment.
Somebody is taxiing around in a TBM in front of me here. I'm not sure who that is. Turn nameplates on real quick. It's Mike. Don't see you. Are you on US East with all those options turned on?
Yep. And you're Echo Delta Papa Kilo?
Nope, we're at Lima India Papa Victor since we changed the
you
airplane.
Changed the flight plan.
Yeah, because it was too short for the TBM.
Okay, I'm at a completely wrong flight plan then.
Yeah, I announced it there in the schedule, but it was very last minute, so.
Yeah.
I
thought I was actually getting prepared this afternoon.
you probably were until I came in and bamboozled you.
Schedule. Okay, your cool set missing. Whereabouts is the new flight plan? I see your announcement for the new update.
It's in the schedule above, schedule channel above the new thumbnail I posted, where it says change of plans.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
No. Oh, LIPV to low. Oh, okay. I just saw LOWI and thought, okay, so okay, there we are. So just the two airport. Oh, the change of plans. There it is. Okay. Sorry.
Yep, you should have all the airports in there.
Okay, you guys go ahead, because I'm gonna have to take a while to spawn.
No problem.
And load this plan back in.
But I'm just now getting started. So, all right, let's get the battery on. Go ahead and do main generator ignition to auto. Ooh, got a little lag there. Booster pump to on. We got plenty of fuel. Got 200 gallons in here or so. Fuel selector on manual. And we're not going to go through the whole checklist since we've already wasted a little bit of time. prop all the way full. Let's hit the starter. Looking for an NG of around 13%. Okay, let's go low idle. Check the IDT temperatures for a hot start. Looks like around 933 is going to be our hottest temperature, so we're good there. We should start doing bets on what the temperature is going to be. All right, 50% NG. Let's go high idle. Check for hung start. NG is continuing to rise, so that is good. I think we are good to go. So let's go aux booster pump to auto. Fuel selector to auto. Starter off. And ignition's already in auto. Put the HSIs on, or not the HSI, the gyros on. And nav light. We're sitting on the ground here, so don't forget about it. Let's go ahead and get the inertial separator and pitot heat. Let's turn on our HSI, our radio master, bleed to auto, air conditioning to on, and fan flow to auto. Don't expect us to be climbing too terribly high, unless we encounter some mountains that are going to be causing us some issues. Let me see if I can find... I don't know. Did anybody do this in the little nav map by chance? Probably not. Let me pull up the VFR chart real quick. VFR chart and Navigraph. So I'm seeing 95. So we'll go to an altitude of, let's call it 12 for now, unless we need to adjust that. Okay. Let's go into our map here and let's get this flight plan loaded. Flight plan. I love how the updated PMS 50 GTN 750 automatically detects where you're at, so it makes it a little quicker. Let's start up here. So we're going to Innsbruck, and then we have Lima, India, Lima, Charlie. It's one of the airports. So we're going to be doing touch and goes at these airports, along with Lima, India, Papa Bravo. All right. So first airport 154 miles, second airport 113 miles. Once we get up in the air, we'll check out the weather and see if there's any purchase at these airports. Okay, let me change the menu from terrain here just to make it look a little nicer for us right now. It's all visual, so we are good to go there. Cancel out those alerts. Don't believe there's any sort of departures or anything like that at this airport. It's actually a grass runway. So this is going to be interesting. Definitely you want to make sure your inertial separator is on because FOD is modeled. And
watch out for potholes.
Yeah, I don't think potholes are modeled, but that's a good point if they were. And this has a right pattern, so what we'll do is take off of 05, take off 05 and enter a right pattern and then do a direct to Lima, India, Lima, Charlie. Not gonna worry about the 530 for now. One thing we want to do, since we're going to be going over mountainous terrain, is do a test on our terrain and how it works. And while that's testing, let's go ahead and go to cabin altitude of 1,000 feet. Should be plenty for what we're doing today. Alright, so this time I'm going to take off with rudder trim neutral. There is the little takeoff notch here, so we'll check that out if this is all out of whack on this takeoff and consider doing it for the next one. Alright, I think I'm ready to go other than setting the altimeter and altitude. So we're going to go to, what I say, 12?
Sure.
Let's go to altitude. It's going to restart itself. 12,000 feet. We'll climb out at 1,500 feet per minute. And I got the plane loaded pretty heavily. And the local altimeter is 0.999. Really low. Wow. Okay, 20 feet makes sense. We're right on the water here. We are flying out of Venice, so I'm hopeful for some good visuals if the weather doesn't hurt us too much. Okay, and then we're going to be heading out on a heading of 050. And we'll do a right turn to enter a right pattern. And depart on the downwind or base direct to our first waypoint. Alright, so heading, altitude, flight director. Everything's set up here. Haley, how are you doing?
Still starting up.
Okay, no problem.
You guys go ahead. I will catch up.
Mike is probably still preoccupied looking at his son, so hopefully he notices us rolling. Okay.
Well,
Just kidding.
about 5 minutes ago, I didn't notice anybody on the ground, so I thought, oh, they all left, so I took off.
Oh.
What the heck? I said I could see you sitting. Your plane was sitting for a while, and then I came back and looked. I was like, well, oh, they're gone. I'll catch up to them. So I guess y'all got to catch up to me.
All right,
I'm going to turn around and head back.
pretty much going to be on the runway here once we get on the grass. I guess it's one nice feature about a grass runway. Alright, it did mention that the beta mode was a little different, so let's mess around with that for a second here. Was not a fan of it initially, so we'll have to, when we get a little longer taxi, we'll give her a try. Alright, I believe this is a runway is not painted as well as others in this part of the world, but I see a bit of a line there, so hopefully this is it. Alright, flaps are down. Instruments are on the green. Gears confirmed down. Flaps take off. Bleed is on. Annunciator panel only shows inertial separator, which is what we really want right now. So, alright, I'm going to get going here. So, let's bring her up slowly.
What time of day did you set?
I set it for 4 o'clock local time. And we'll end at around 6. It seemed like it was about when it was getting dark here.
Alright, so you're at 4:15-ish local time now?
Yeah, 19.
Gotcha.
Alright, takeoff power. 80 knots. Let's rotate. It still has that tendency to want to nose over on takeoff, which is something that kind of annoys me a little bit.
So is that normal or not normal?
I don't know. It's not too bad, and you can kind of overpower it, but it is kind of annoying. Alright, we're going out to this island right here and doing a right turn. Go ahead and go into nav mode, CDI to GPS, And we'll let it correct us here momentarily. It's hand flying pretty well right now, which it's always hand flown in this state of flight pretty well. So let's go ahead and get our flaps up and weather radar on. Yeah, so we are entering the right downwind. Still climbing out, or at least trying to. Let's level off here for a moment until we pass the airport. Still hand flying. Unfortunately, the clouds appear to have ruined our view.
It's kind of gloomy.
Yeah.
Today.
Yes, it is. Alright, so maybe these are the torque corrections they're talking about. I don't have my hand on the joystick right now. It's rolling to the left pretty hard. So we'll go ahead and do a right turn to join back to the nav track.
So, one thing I do remember, seeing some of Steve-O's videos, he does mention putting he's got on his left horn on his joist or his yoke, the aileron trim, and he will put in a little right aileron trim after takeoff to fight the torque.
Yeah, I just put in a little bit and it helped tremendously.
I still watch his videos.
Yeah, I can't wait for him to get a new job.
Yeah, I was a little annoyed how the owner did that to him.
Well, you know.
He got to fly the new, I think the new 950 or 940.
He got to fly the 960, I believe is what it is. And he also got to fly an Aviation jet. Yeah, we got some traffic off to our left there, 2,000 feet above us.
That would be me.
Alrighty. Okay, I'm gonna go autopilot.
I've been found out.
Yep. And let's make sure we're at 100% torque on the throttle, and then we're gonna go in A50 mode here. Alright, A50 mode. Let's go ahead and turn our inertial separator off. And start climbing. Fast mode. Oh, it's interesting down there. Is that windmills or? Alright, torque jumped up there pretty quick. Pretty stable right there. Alright, it's just confirmed 12,000 feet, 12,000 feet.
Let's see you on TCAS.
I'll be zoomed out too far.
Love that.
Go and brighten the cockpit up a little bit for you guys watching the stream there. I know it can be a little dark. The lights do look good in the clouds here. I will say that.
I like how in the update they said something like, I have to find it, that the strobe reflections in the clouds
Or disorienting.
blinding, disorienting. Yeah, that was the word. It's like, yeah, give me some of that.
Yeah. Did that trigger your Aspen departure? Did that trigger something, Mike? Do you need to tell us where the TBM hurt you?
In my wallet. I
Hey,
can't
if
wait
they-
for them to put the Piper M500 in. I'd definitely fly the plane that I build.
Yeah, that would be cool. You should know everything about it.
Wing-wise, yes, because I built the wings.
There, 8,000 for 12,000. Inching up a little bit on the power here. Try to get as close to 121 as possible without exceeding, causing any exceedances. I'm gonna go ahead and turn my head tracking off so I don't make you guys motion sick.
Oh, no, that's nice.
Oh, for
Okay, so there's no charts for the airport we're going to either. I'm not entirely sure how long that runway is. It's going to be a touch and go for sure. It's only 1,900 feet.
You guys are at the second airport already?
No, I'm just taking a look ahead.
I loaded the wrong estimate. I loaded the original flight plan back in again. That.
Alright, we're about 10,000. Let's go ahead and turn those landing and taxi lights off. Taxi lights are already off. Oh, look at that. That's nice. Well, we got a brief moment of beautiful cloud coverage, but there we go.
Are you cloud surfing?
Somewhat, yes. Grab some screenshots real quick. Get some rain in the back.
I just took a screenshot of mine leaving Seattle. Had mountains in the background and I think the moon.
There's quite a bit of cloud coverage around here. We may have to change our altitude here. We may be in the clouds here momentarily.
So does the TBM show the turbulence in the wings?
I don't recall there being wing flex, no. Although I can't imagine there's a ton. Pretty short.
Give it a little flex.
Peter, you're missing out on the weather, that's for sure. Outside temperature is freezing, so you know what we should probably do is pull up Navigraph here. Let's load up the icing layer under weather. Okay, we do have icing to be concerned about, so it is in the light to moderate range. We're currently in trace, so we're going to be landing at our first touch and go in light to moderate. Trying to get the altitude. Let's look at the sigmets. $8,000 to $18,000. So we are going to be in the icing. Oh, that's turbulence. Whoops, hang on. Let's, is there one for icing? Let's turn off turbulence. Oh, there's not one. Okay. Does icing give an altitude on here? Oh, it does. No, let's control airspace. Okay, so we just need to be wary of it. I don't have an altitude on the icing right now. But looking at that mean cloud in front of me, I imagine we're going to be flying into it shortly. .28 degrees, we'll probably be picking it up pretty quick. Terrain around here is very beautiful, though. I'm going to fly in this area more. Alright, so we are at cruise. Let's bump up that torque just a hair more. See what kind of performance we can squeeze out of this thing. Current ground speed is 249 knots, although we do have a little bit of a headwind here, probably about a 20 knot headwind. We still have 123 miles to go. We could climb to 24,000, see what that looks like if you want to. Let's do that. And then check your cabin altitudes, since we will be going up quite a ways. And we'll keep increasing the power to keep our torque up, maintain as much performance as possible. We're not paying for the fuel, so we're gonna go fast. With a rain shower out there, that's cool. I love how they have this modeled. Bump up the power just a little bit there. Oh, we must have hit a weird pocket of air or something. I lost torque for a moment. Let's make sure that doesn't cause us to over torque. Fuel to destination 83.5 gallons. So we have more than enough for that. Let's confirm we are in auto on the fuel selector. We are. Let's see what our miles per gallon is right now. 3.3, but we are on a climb, so we're losing quite a bit there. I expect to see somewhere around 4.5, 4 to 4.5 with this headwind. They keep her hours? How many hours do we have in this thing now? 12 and a half. A little over 12 and a half. I'd ask Mike how many he's up to, but he is currently deafened, so we can't hear us.
Probably more than you.
We were pretty close. He had probably another 2 hours on me. Last time we discussed it. So, intern cockpit temperature 69 degrees, so it's nice and comfortable. Outside 16 now, and dropping pretty quickly as we climb. Let's check our torque. Bump it up just a hair more. Around 18 to 20,000 feet, we can pretty much firewall the power lever. Reset our heading mode, just in case. Missions auto starters off. Volts look good, amps look good, main generator, battery source. Everything is as it should be right now. Okay, so I believe we got the vertical speed required. This is not, well, you know what, this might work for us actually if let's go to the menu. Wrong menu. And go to utilities. VCalc. And this airport we're going to is at an altitude of 800 feet. So target altitude 800 feet. Vertical speed profile is going to be 2,000 feet per minute in this aircraft. And we're going to be going to LILC. So that should pop up for us. Give us a good vertical speed requirement there. That'll get us at the runway whenever we descend. If we wanted to go to, let's say, 1,000 feet above ground, we could actually change this to 1,800 feet. So this helps from having to bust that calculator and try to figure out the math behind it all, but you could also take the time to target and take 2,000 feet per minute and figure out how many minutes you have, or how many minutes are going to be required to get down to your correct altitude. These colors just keep getting better. Let's pop out and take some pictures. Which makes for some good screenshots for sure. Missed the focus. There we go. I'm surprised that I'm not seeing anything on my weather radar right now, considering there are some rain clouds out there. Got a sliver over here, that's about it. Alright, 1,000 feet from 240. And we actually have slowed down dramatically here, so not quite to our minimum speed, but we definitely want to decrease this quite a bit here. Just start getting some speed back. That's what I get for looking outside and enjoying the view. Alright, let's bump the power up just a bit here. Should be able to firewall it at this point, or be very close to it if not. Alright, we are firewalled. Alright, so what kind of ground speed we get here once our airspeed recovers. So it makes its progress again. Once again, we're looking for 1,000 feet above ground and looking for about 2,000 feet per minute on the vertical speed required. We're up and above the clouds that were causing me a little bit of concern a minute ago, so we shouldn't have to worry about icing. Maybe a little bit, depending on if we scoop past this or not. We'll keep an eye on the wings just to make sure nothing's building up. But on our descent, we'll likely encounter some icing, so that'll be pretty fun to test out the new icing effects. Alright, so 204 ground speed. 205. Climbing pretty rapidly. And our range miles per gallon is going up pretty quick too. Haley, did you get up in the air just fine?
Yeah, yeah, I'm tagging along. I'm going to stay down a lot lower than you guys. I like the scenery.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm not sure, I'm not sure what range ahead of you guys are at the moment, but
I'm 91 miles away from Lima, India, Lima, Charlie.
oh, okay, 121.
So you're about 30 miles behind. We actually have our top of descent popping up on our flight plan here, which is a nice little addition that they've added recently. Very quickly making some progress now. Passengers would definitely have a nice view if they were sitting back here. Nothing to complain about at all. Negative 14 outside air temperature, inside cockpit 69 degrees, just fine. Alright, let's check out the weather altimeter at our destination here. Gonna be 909 or 8. And we should be over at standard right now. Whoops. We were about 360 feet too high, so let's go ahead and descend a little bit here. Help us pick up some speed back. Now, there's that 4.5 miles per gallon, which is probably a little high now, simply because we're descending and getting some extra airspeed. Looks like we're going to be in some icing conditions, whether we like it or not, here shortly. Kind of excited for it, just to check out the new icing effects. Before, they would just cover the entire window immediately. So I'll be really interested to see how it kind of crystallizes around the edge first. Along with actuating these boots. Which I guess we could try that real quick. Here they go. That's pretty cool. With the lights on here, that'll do left and right. Not sure what the timer is on that. This is not an anti-ice, it's just a de-ice, so it will remove the ice after it builds up, so it's allows it to build up, then sheds it, allows it to build up, then sheds it. That coming up on 1,500 feet per minute, vertical speed required. We're heading into some ice here, so let's go ahead and do prop windshield. De-ice and let those start. Actually, let's leave the... Curious, if we leave the left windshield off and the right windshield on. Actually, let's swap that. That way we can still see. It'll be a fun indication. Alright, since we are going to IMC, let's go back to terrain mode here just to prevent us from running into anything we can't see. As there is no approach. The runway heading at this airport, we can pretty much do a straight in to 28. The winds are variable at 2 knots, so that's what we'll do. Straight in 28, right turn to rejoin the nav track. Come up on our top of descent, let's go ahead and go down to 1,800 feet on the altitude. And we're going to descend a little faster than the VSR, simply because we'll be at 1,800 feet at the airport if we do not do that. So I'm going to go ahead and start descending 2,000 feet per minute. And we will full power a little bit here and go out of 850 mode so that way we don't exceed the torque on accident. Hit that torque limiter, and let's make sure we at least get to the 100%. Okay, we're firewall now, so that's about as far as we can go until we get a little lower. Descent arc has us a little bit in front of the airport there, which is perfect. We'll go ahead and swap back over to our 0998 altimeter. We'll be at 18,000 here momentarily. And with hectopascal, since they are a little broader range than inches of mercury, I'm going to go to the bottom of that just to make sure we're at the lowest elevation. Not sure if that's the correct methodology or not, but that's what I'm going to do for this. Makes sense in my head.
I agree on that logic. Seems like the safer side of the logic.
Yep.
Curve. How far are you from LALC? I just rejoined the party.
52.5 miles.
Okay, I'm gonna stay in 850 mode and try and catch up with you. A little behind, 66 miles.
Not picking up any ice yet.
Did you ice up ever?
Not yet. I climbed up over the clouds. I don't know if you heard me or saw me.
No, I had to go over to a phone call while I flew. Watched my plane ice up.
Did it ice up?
It did, and the boots are animated nicely now.
Yep. Yeah, I was just I did test them to see how they looked.
Did you choose an approach into
There's
airport?
there's no charts at all for this airport.
Okay.
So I'm going straight in pretty much. I believe it was runway 28.
Okay. Yeah.
It's too short for a TBM, so it's going to be a touch and go quick.
It's gonna be a light touch.
Yep.
It's a gentle stroke.
Just the tip.
There's your one strike for the night.
Yep. I'm allowed one gimme. Probably squeeze a second one in there, depending on how long the stream goes for.
That's what she said.
Well, see, now we're 1.5 down.
Sorry, I am a fan of The Office.
I am going to go ahead and start slowing up a little bit here. That 41 miles disappears real quick.
I am behind you guys, but these mountain lakes are beautiful. Man.
Yeah, this scenery is beautiful.
I say I'm behind you guys. I see somebody on TCAS. I don't know.
I'm about 76 miles out.
That's you. Okay, I see you back there. Michael, you probably know this full well. You know those days from work that your phone probably should catch fire for how much it's blowing up with phone calls that are just rapid fire nonstop coming from every which direction?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's been today for me, right up until now. Oh, people.
Mr. Popular over here. Not something you want to have.
No, exactly. Not in the mood. I think I liked it when I was younger, but not anymore. I like being the guy in the basement with the stapler.
There you go. Going up on 10,000 feet here, so let's go ahead and get our landing lights on since we're going to be in the clouds. And we want to make sure that we're having we have our inertial separator on for this one.
I wonder if they've modeled well enough any kind of damage if you don't use the separator.
I haven't had damage from it yet, but I've had it on, I think, for every takeoff that was on any sort of runway that would require it. But
Well,
something
I
we
took
could
off
always
from
try.
that grass strip. I took off from that grass strip with it off with no ill effects, and it should have been on a grass strip for sure.
Yep.
So accidentally I left it off, and it...
Okay. I had no icing, and it's 32 degrees now, so a little surprised.
I'm smack dab in the middle of you two.
There you go. Diesel, how are you doing tonight? Or C-130? Awesome. Yeah, see, there's some mountains off to my right there that I'm a little surprised aren't popping up on my Garmin here. Let's go ahead and turn the weather off real quick, so we have better sightline of any sort of terrain that might pop up and bite us.
You have a different view on your Garmin than me. I see more like more of a topo view. Let me check my settings.
I have it in terrain mode right now.
Alright, I think I have mine. Must be topo. Let's see.
So I can
Yep.
take it off terrain and it'll go to topo.
I kind of like that view better. It's not going to give you flaring reds if you're like warning you're about to hit some terrain.
Yeah, I like having the terrain whenever, especially in IMC conditions like this.
Yeah.
Alright, we are 20 miles out. Let's go ahead and start slowing up a little bit more. Nice and easy. Yeah, those mountains are just now popping in. I'm unnervingly close to them, flying in the clouds. I'm getting smacked around a little bit here too. Okay, let's go ahead and get the track iron back on. Alright, landing lights are on. There's a separator. It's on. Excuse me.
Michael, if you get a second to look at what I'm streaming, I'm curious. Never mind. Don't bother. My question went away.
What was the question?
I think I was on my GTN 750. I've had a green dashed circle around my plane, kind of flashing, growing, shrinking for quite a while, and I'm not sure what.
Ooh, that's a little sketchy.
Coming.
I've got some terrain popping up in front of me here. Let's go ahead. That's a little unnerving. I could see the outline of it here. It's on the runway's on the other side of this hill. We're gonna clear this, but very close.
Wow, yeah.
Alright, 10 miles out. Let's go ahead and do approach flaps. Because this runway might be a little difficult to find. Nothing is red in front of us, so we're clear on everything. But we're hauling the mellow over these people down here. Okay, so looking at the terrain, we're going to want to depart straight out and start climbing. Otherwise, you may have some terrain issues.
Oh, this is a tiny grass strip.
Yes, it's very small. You know, like I said, it's a
It's
light
almost like
light
this
touch.
flight plan was made for. It's almost like this flight plan was made for something like a 152.
Well, this airport wasn't included on that, but I thought it was bigger than it was when I made it. Let's go ahead and get stabilized around 120 knots so I can dump those flaps and land at whatever this tiny little Dollar General landing strip is. $500. Ooh. Make sure your terrain's working if you haven't tested it yet. Now we are 7 miles out. Let's go ahead and get landing flaps down. Along with our gear. Let's go ahead and get configured.
About your phone going?
Right around 100 knots. That alarm we're hearing is my gear wasn't down before I put landing flaps down. Here we go. Alright, gear's down. Checked. And with these conditions, I'm curious if we'll even be able to see the thing before we fly right past it. Should be at the edge of the water there, it looks like.
Yep. Now, you could OBS the waypoint. Well, no, the actual waypoint is on. It's not right on the. It'll be to the right of the runway.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do a slight turn to get into this runway.
Yeah.
I'll do that at the last minute here. I need to identify where it's at first. Just trying to keep my airspeed a little low, just so I can react. Alright, you can see where the terrain's starting to drop off here. That should be what we're seeing up in front of us.
I get a elevation for this strip at 800 feet.
Yeah, I'm 1,000 feet above right now, so I'm going to start descending. See if we can find this thing. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of a right turn here just to make it a little easier on the runway 28. Let's zoom in on this GPS here to help out a little bit too. I don't think there's anything legal about what we're doing right now, but that's okay. There's the water, so it should be somewhere out through here. Well, maybe a little farther up this way.
There he is. Oh, you said you were going to make it tonight, Ken.
What's up, Ken?
Where he just got.
Get canceled due to weather?
Say again?
They get canceled due to weather or something?
No, it just ended.
Oh, okay.
At 6. Started at 6. Y'all flying?
Yep, and it's interesting. Got some power lines I'm dodging right now.
What are y'all doing on ground level in the TBM?
We're trying to do a touch and go. There's the runway. I got it in sight. Alright, let's go ahead and pull power. This is going to be a very quick touch and go.
Ken, if you're going to join up, you could probably try loading into LILC.
No, I'm not going to join on this. Y'all just going to listen in?
I don't know if I can get down between these trees. I'm going to try it.
Part of the country, of the world y'all in?
Italy.
Italy.
Let's go ahead and go full power. I touched. Get back up in the air.
Grass strip.
It's not a grass strip. It's definitely concrete, but... Alright. Positive rate, gear up. Close to stall speed. Just try to level off a little bit here once we get out over the lake. Flaps to approach. There we go. Now we got some speed. Let's continue that climb out. That was sketchy. Don't forget your turbine takes a second to torque up, so you might want to get on the power before you even touch the ground. Alright, let's go ahead and do a right turn to get back on the nav track here. And let's climb out to... Let's just go to 10,000 feet for now, just to get going. And let's turn that inertial separator off so we gain some power back. Terrain is disappearing off our map there. That's good to see.
These hills are scary. You aren't kidding.
Considering the weather. Yeah. And then I had the transmission power lines that were popping up in front of me too. So I'm gonna go ahead and go back to autopilot here so I can just monitor and not have to hand fly. Make sure you don't smack into something again. Let's go ahead and get those flaps up. Now that we're stabilized in the air. See if we can't gain a little extra performance here. Let's go in the A50 mode. I want to get as high as fast as I can. I don't think 10,000 feet is going to be our ultimate altitude just because the mountains are going to be flying near. So let's go on up to 12. We appear to be clear of everything, so let's go ahead and bring our vertical speed back down a little bit to 1,500 feet per minute. I did notice that it slowed down a bit nicer when I pulled the throttle there. So I don't know if I would have been able to touch the ground with the old flight model.
Have you noticed much about the update?
I mean, I only had that one instance so far where I'm, landing. I did do a little pattern real quick before the stream started, but not enough to digest. Still has that nose over tendency. As soon as you raise the nose and you lift up in the air, it wants to kind of like push forward a little bit. And that could be correct. I don't know. Because you lose. Yeah, you do lose the ground effect when you do that, so that might be what it is.
And that thing is probably real nose heavy too, if you think about it.
Yeah. Hey, I can see it again. I really want to fly this thing in the lightning storm and get those lightning effects on the windshield. Okay, I don't intend on going as high this time, so we can drop the cabin pressure back down to something a little more comfortable. Let's drop to 2,000 feet.
Mr. T, did you tell them about our icing conditions earlier in the watching the boots work?
Yep, I had some icing tonight here. That was a touchy touch and go, holy moly.
Yeah.
I gave it the lightest touch I could, and went,
Yeah.
like you said, before I even touched, I was already giving it the gas.
Yeah, I firewalled it as soon as I was about to touch. I was like, we're going. This is going to take a second to spool up.
I know it's a sim, but my pulse is up a little bit.
Well, it's the
That's
game.
fun.
Your boat shouldn't be up.
It's a sim. It's not a game.
Yeah. You see, you've done it.
I thought we've been through this, or you've been over this.
10,000 feet, landing lights off. Alright, so for our next airport, we have charts, which is nice. They've got a localizer DME for runway 1. They've got a circling with prescribed flight tracks to runway 1. Now that's a new one.
Yeah, try that one out.
And then they got a circling with prescribed flight tracks to runway 19. Let's look at these things.
That European flying, huh?
Yeah. I'm not used to these. So how do you do this? Oh, this is interesting. Let's check the airplane real quick, make sure we're happy with everything. So we are in icing conditions right now, so let's go ahead and get the prop and windshields on, and we'll check the wings periodically. So It looks like we will fly to the VOR and descend to 4,000 at a distance of 3 miles, 3,500 at 4.6. And it's going to be a right turn descent into runway 1. So what's the weather like here? Variable at 1 knot, so we can do either one. What's the other one look like?
It's pretty much like a VOR circle to land.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, sorry, that was runway 19 I was looking at. Runway 1 is a big figure 8. That's cool. Let's put these into the Garmin and see what that looks like on there. Check the airplane, make sure everything's good. Alright, we can increase the torque a bit here. Otherwise, everything is pretty happy, it looks like. This weather radar is showing some pretty nasty stuff in front of me, so I'll be curious to see how this feels. I haven't flown this thing into any major weather yet. So let's go to procedure. Oh, you know what? I probably need to make my arrival airport this airport to be able to do that. So let's go flight plan. And I remove LOWI. Yes. Okay. Procedures. And there's not an arrival. Oh, there is an arrival. The DME arc and so which one will work better for us here? Naxov, I think, is if you were coming in from the opposite direction. Adosa or Adosa. So we can do the Adosa arrival. It's getting bumpy with the no transition, so load the arrival. Let's see what that does to our navigation here.
There really is not much wind to speak of here at this Bolzano airport.
Let's do a direct to Adosa.
Y'all are going to wind up in Innsbruck?
Yep.
That's a pretty approach.
That way we don't cut off too much there. So I got a direct to Adosa, or the Adosa arrival.
Are you doing what runway did you pick?
I haven't picked one yet.
Oh.
I'll say they've got an RNAV to 1 too.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now.
And then a localizer. Okay, so these circling approaches aren't in the system, so you'd have to hand fly those, I guess. Alright, so I'm going to do an RNAV to 1, just because the weather conditions are not looking favorable for where we're going, so that's going to be our safest bet. With the probably the 4 transition.
Yep. That's what I loaded as well.
Okay.
That's probably considering that's not a precision approach either, probably. So.
No, but it's a lot more precise than me trying to hand fly in IMC.
Oh yeah, yeah. What I know is that circle to land stuff is not precision. So.
Oh no. We've got rain. No ice yet, just surprising at 27 degrees Fahrenheit. It's exceptionally bumpy though.
What's your next waypoint?
I did a direct to Adosa for the arrival.
Okay, so I'm currently direct 4 because that was the first point on the approach.
Yeah. I could do a direct to 4, actually. I could change it up because I'm kind of in between the two. Flight plan 4, activate.
I'm not. I'm in the sun, and I don't see rain. Behind you a little, but I'm also south of your track.
So we need to be at 14,000 for this approach. I'm looking at the mountains. Oh yeah, we definitely need to be at 14,000 looking at the charts here. In fact, 4 is a little sketchy. It's in between. It's in a valley. So I'm gonna go ahead and climb the 14.
Now I'm in the soup that you're in.
Curious to see if this rain turns into ice real quick here when I gain a couple thousand feet. Yeah, 14,000 feet would be okay with my current directive 4. You might want to double check with your charts.
Yep.
Because there's mountains to the northwest of that that are all the way up to 15,700 feet. Bounced around a ton.
I'm definitely S'ing up.
Still have rain. It's interesting. What altitude you at?
14,000. Got down to 22 Fahrenheit. Just iced up slightly. It cleaned it up real fast. From what I see, we should be fine on this route at 10,000 feet even.
Yeah, the first waypoint had me at 14 for the approach.
So going into 4, we're kind of coming up the valley, so it looks like it's showing me we're going to be fine.
Had I stayed on Dosa, then yeah, that would have worked pretty well. I don't actually have a chart for this RNAV. They got a localizer DME you could fly. Just on ILS though. I'm still in rain at the moment.
What is an RNP approach? I'm looking at that chart right now.
I guess it's an RNAV in a way, but it's not the same. I'm not entirely sure what the differences are. we don't have a ton of those in the United States, so they're pretty common in Europe. Usually, well, I think we have them. We just typically have an ILS or an RNF to take instead. It is bumpy.
Does it, if I look at the VCalc thing, I'm sure this is coming from.
Okay, so yeah, the RMP approach is the RNF approach for the Garmin.
Okay. I'm gonna be at 10,000 at 4.
In about 20 miles, I'll have a break in the weather, it looks like. Oh, I've got a slight bit of ice on my wing now. Just a hair on the leading edge. Not enough to worry about yet. Alright, so PB 912, we want to be at 7,000. So we'll leave 4 from 14 to 7. Max speed of 210 knots too, by the way, if you didn't catch that. The weather conditions should be better where we're going. Just looking at Volanta's weather overlay here.
You say max speed at 200 knots? That's what I saw on the chart.
210.
What? Oh, what? I'm seeing 200.
At 4.
So I wonder...
And then it goes to 200 at PB 912.
Okay. I'm still 60 miles from, or 55 from 4. You're probably closer.
Oh, that's kind of disappointing that as soon as you hit the de-ice, it just immediately removes the...
Mm-hmm.
Even on the areas that didn't have the boots out yet. Which I think that's an MSFS limitation, not so much an airplane limitation. Get out in here and a little bit of sunlight and should clear things up nicely too. Get a little bit over here on our weather radar.
Alright, you're at a ground speed of 315. What is holding me back here?
You got a nice little tailwind helping out right now.
Yeah, so do I, but...
Alright, for this touch and go, we probably need to do a left pattern circle to depart. Actually has a teardrop back over the runway and then a right turn again. So we'll do that.
Okay.
Just show everybody on what I'm talking about here. So we're doing a touch and go. There's mountains right in front of us here. So we're going to do an immediate left turn, teardrop to get back to the airport, fly over the airport, climbing, and teardrop again. And then we should be high enough at this point with this airplane to continue on up to the north. And then I will re-enter our final destination when we get in a stable climb. Okay, let's go ahead and go out of A50 mode here. and slow up a bit. Here's the right boots working. You see how they alternate down here. Just in case this decides to do something goofy. Put the heading bug there so we can go in heading mode. Uh, 018. Alright, 210 knots, 14,000 feet, and 4. Yeah, it looks like another storm has popped up in front of us here, so this could get very interesting on our climb out. Oh boy.
You picked the winner.
Just remember, left turn, fly over the airport. Do opposite of the runway heading to the south, and then a teardrop to the right. Extended teardrop. Going down our next altitude, 7,000 feet. And we'll start descending. Oh, we're going to have to slow up a lot here. My arc is well ahead of where I'm at. If I can get slow enough in this descent, I can get my approach flaps out. I need to. All the way down to about 30% torque. Next one's going to be 4,500, so let's go ahead and dial that in. How is that being slow to change? Alright, let's get some approach flaps in to help with this descent. Very aggressive descent right here. Alright, missed approach is the same as the touch and go. Alright, 10,000 feet, landing lights.
This is looking like a busy touch and go coming up.
Yes, it's going to be very busy. Somebody off to my left there. Who's that?
It might be me.
Yep, it is.
Not me. I'm
There's-
still 27
Coming
miles
over
from
that.
Fort.
The valley, I think the valley that you're over, that's a better approach. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to be down at 5,600 at waypoint I'm coming up to. Go ahead and drop my gear just to give it a little extra drag, make this a little easier for me. Is anyone else having a kind of a delay between... Oh, I got the runway in sight. Look at that. When you go from vertical speed to your altitude. Alright, so this won't be too bad now that I can see the runway, so that's good. Alright, I'm gonna hand fly it the rest of the way in.
Oh, that looks cool on stream.
Yeah, it's pretty. We got just enough condition. I could just open it perfectly for us right here. That's for sure.
A little behind you. I'm turning it forward now.
Yeah, we don't have terrain like this in the States. So I'm going to change my heading bug to 010. It does, doesn't it, Diesel?
That's a pretty aggressive descent you got to do from foyer at 10,000 down to that 7,000 foot
Yeah, it was.
constraint.
Alright, gears down, let's confirm down. Flaps are in landing. Let's get this girl on the ground.
Ah, crap.
What happened?
My rudder pedals have suddenly stopped working.
Oh, that's not good.
Every so often the USB loses its... This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, you should be able to unplug them back in and take care of it.
Trying to reach with my headset on to feel it.
Yeah. Alright, these pappies have me low, which I don't feel is accurate considering the angle I'm going at right now. Which, this is probably... I would think you could fly a TBM in here, just no problem. What's this off to the left? Is that a racetrack? Oh, that's cool. We got a racetrack off to the left on the approach. Alright, yeah, we're coming back here for sure. That's pretty cool.
Okay, that's really weird. My brakes are working, but my... Oh, you know what? I'm on... That's why I had so much trouble taking off. I'm on helicopter. After this whole flight. Control options. I paused it on final, so... At least I can do this, and that's not... There we go.
Alright, on the ground. Full throttle. Flaps to approach mode. Nine knots. Let's get back in the air. Positive rate, gear up. Alright, let's go back up to 12,000.
I really wondered why I had so much trouble controlling my torque when I was taking off at the first airport.
That'll do it.
Toe brakes were working.
Alright, let's do this left turn. And flaps up. Definitely feel the torque much more. Alright, I'll see you on final.
Yeah.
I'm overflying the airport now on my departure turns. Well, this is definitely unique.
I'm still I'm at 2,700 feet. And
See who's that?
4 miles out and still full IMC. I don't see a thing.
You should not be on IMC right now. Because you are not going to be perfectly in line with the runway with that RNAV.
What's going on? My time of day. I'm on live weather. Time of day is 5:38 p.m. Oh, I know why. What's your time of day right now, if you don't mind looking?
5:38.
Okay.
Alright, so we'll do our right turn. Go back up the valley.
I overflew the airport. Darn it.
And then this is a right turn. Back to, we'll head to the north and then we'll adjust our flight plan. Heading mode, altitude, flight director. That was a pretty cool departure. Got you guys in sight. And we're about to go right back into the IMC. It was cool how the weather opened up for us down here. I don't know if it did for you, Mike, but...
No, I never saw a thing.
Ugh.
Well, I mean, I saw the airport below me at the last second.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's just... I'm sure you've been looking at the stream, but it's pretty much just wide open for me right around the airport here.
Yeah.
Okay, so flight plan. Let's go ahead and clear out the flight plan. Set origin. We are at LIPV. Enter, and then our destination is going to be LOWI. Enter. Map. Okay, we're going to keep on this heading until we get to the nav track, and we will start looking at arrivals for Innsbruck. Well, let's look at the approach here. It might be a better option for the direction we're coming, so we don't fly way too far out of the way. Let's go into nav mode. Weather at Innsbruck is 030 at 9, gusting to 26. So that's going to be fun. This looks like we're going to be on runway 8 then. There's an RMPY and an RMP Zulu. RMP Zulu looks like the better option here. So let's go ahead and enter that approach in. Eight Zulu with the LM transition approach. And that has a starting altitude of 13,000 feet. Oh, why is... That's weird. Oh. There we go. The single screen with the 2-dial thing is kind of annoying sometimes. It's getting laggy, so it's not being very responsive for me. We need to go back into nav mode, so we'll do a left turn here. That was definitely a fun and unique approach, though. Alright, it's showing no icing concerns, despite the weather I'm in right now, so I'm going to turn... Oh, as soon as I turned off that, immediately started icing up. Keep the prop on. I want to see what the window does here, because see, it went ahead and did the whole sheet effect that I was not expecting.
Oh, yeah, there it goes. Is it working in from the outside edges like it's supposed to?
No. And I don't know if that's just a exterior thing. I would think it would be an interior, but I don't see any ice on the exterior. You see the whole window's iced up now. I'm gonna let it get worse and see if it starts building up the frostiness around the outside edges. I'm kind of curious too, if I go to defog, oh, it's already on defog, okay. Had a negative 60 foot per minute landing there. A pretty cool figure eight. So the exterior model looks like it's icing more on the corners. Now I've got rain mixing in with it too. You'd think that the rain would melt it off. This simulator is not the most accurate in terms of icing though. Innsbruck does have some weather moving in, so hopefully we beat it in. Okay, we got a few minutes here, so let's go to 850 mode. With that trim chasing the weather. Oh, look at these peaks below us. That's cool. There's snow on them. It's gonna be a hard picture to capture with the bouncing. That's cool. Well, it's a little unnerving to be that close to these mountains. I'm not gonna lie. In fact, I'm gonna look at my charts here. Surprised I'm not seeing, once again, some of the terrain on my Garmin. Let's go ahead and get these windows de-iced before we smack into a mountain. They're not iced up like I expected it to. Cheers from Brazil. Nice icing going on, huh? Yep. How you doing, Daniel? Some beautiful mountains around here too. I feel like these mountains right below me here should be popping up on the Garmin here. Let's go ahead and go to high on the bleed here, see if we can't clear these windows up a little faster. Starting a little better. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and go back to auto bleed. So at least it de-ices pretty quick. I guess it's 2,000 feet for the Garmin to kick in. These mountain ranges around here are right below 10. That looks like. Might be why we're not seeing it.
Yeah.
They're so large. They look like they're a lot closer, I guess. Oh, that's just beautiful.
So watch out on your flight plan. In the 750, it has 13,000 feet for all of the waypoints on
Okay.
the approach. That is not correct. Once you reach the final approach fix at Whiskey India 749, you want to be descending from 13,000 feet at that point.
Alright, let's go ahead and go out 850 mode. Let's pull the torque back. Yeah, Whiskey India 749 is the top of the descent, which is right after, it's right about here. It's really the first waypoint, or second waypoint. There we go, we cleared up. Oh, this is some stunning terrain. It's got a 3.6 degree glide slope. So the runway elevation is 1907. So I'm going to set my altitude to 1907. Well, 1900. I'm going to put my arc right on that runway, and that should be what we need for a descent. Looks like I can turn off all the anti-ice. Oh man, I can get much better than that.
Looks fantastic.
Yeah, it does. Looks like I'm beginning my right turn here. Overshot a little bit there. Should be bringing us back to the valley over here, though. Once we get over these little mountains right here, little mountains, these large mountains right here, we'll start descending.
Hills.
What's that?
These little hills.
Yeah, these little rolling hills. No big deal. Yeah, we'll definitely have to get back in the 152 or something, get Fox or something like that to fully enjoy these areas. We'll have to fly in here with an airliner one night too.
I've done that into Innsbruck. That's fun.
Yeah, I've flown into it a few times, just mainly with that landing challenge, and that's always fun with the 747 trying to land.
And I did it in the 7.3s, and had a good time doing it.
I've been to Innsbruck, but only for a night.
You've been to Innsbruck?
Yeah, I just drove through and stayed overnight.
That's cool.
It must have been terrible.
Yeah, darn it. I feel so bad for you.
I was the electronics guy on the crew that was on a helicopter in Greece was he hurt his back, so he wasn't able to uninstall the equipment out when it got back to his base in France. So they flew me out there, and I arrived at the helicopter base in France, and they said, "Oh, the helicopter's in Greece waiting on parts from Eurocopter." Well, when you hear that, you know it's going to be at least a week, if not more. So I called my office and I said, "I've got the rental cars. You booked a hotel room here for me, but is there any reason I should stay here?" And they said no, as long as you're back before the helicopter is, no problem. And so off I drove. I did a big circuit through I was in, where was I? It was an old Olympic town in France. I'm trying to remember what the name was. Winter Olympics. But anyway, I went up through Germany, down through Austria, all through here, and then
That's awesome.
Through northern Italy. Just drove every day. Didn't stop for long.
This is a rather steep approach, so be prepared for that.
I see you're at about 2,500, which is where I'm at.
Saw the runway where you were talking, Haley. Yep, there it is again.
Sorry?
While you were talking, I saw the runway, so we're good to go.
Oh, sorry, yeah. There we are.
Alright, this is a nice visual approach, so let's fly it in by hand. Ooh, that thing had quite a bit of aileron trim into it. Slow up a bit more so we can get a approach flaps in. There's 180. Approach flaps. I'll go ahead and get her gear down just to help. This is such a steep approach. Sink rate. Alright, we're starting to capture the glide slope a little bit here. There we go. We're too green, too red. Let's go ahead and level off and get landing flaps at 120. Pull a little bit of power so don't drop too slow. Get her trimmed out.
Did you use approach mode on your approach?
Nah, glide slope meaning
Right.
just the
Okay.
pappies.
So for L and Nav,
Once I got a visual on it, I just hand flew it in once I got a visual. Alright, need a bit of right aileron trim. Got 3 green. Checked. Touch high. Let's drop it back down. Definitely feel those gusts right now. Landing lights are on. Minimums continue. Woo, it's gusty. Not as smooth as I'd like, but for considering the gusting. Take it. Alrighty. Welcome to Innsbruck. Let's get the taxi lights on. Oh, hell, he beat me down, it looks like.
Yeah, I came in a bit closer and did a circled descent.
Oh, okay. Butter out of 10 landing. That was, considering the conditions, it wasn't too bad. Thank you, Diesel. Oh, you know what I forgot to do is my inertial separator. Dang it. Oh well. Alright, let's go line up in front of the Innsbruck building over here.
Sure.
That'd be a good place for pictures.
Lead the way.
Heck, we even got a basket lift and everything over here. Okay. Park and brake. Low auto. Mic on short final there.
It's so much easier to taxi when your rudder pedals work.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, landing gear, pop up. See you fighting that wind.
Oh, should I put my landing gear down?
There it is.
Oh,
Whoa,
that
easy
got
there.
me.
Well, actually, let me have
Loaded
a.
up.
Let me get you a good picture though.
Man, that I don't know what that must have caught a wind and floated up.
Yeah, it did the same thing to me. I got a good picture because you floated though. So it worked out in your favor.
All right, where are you guys? Off to the right or left?
Off to the right.
Right.
Alright, so prop down. 15 seconds.
We're gonna do Willie. About to do. Let's see, will it pop? No.
And cut off. My propeller. Oh, there it is. I was about to say my propeller has disappeared. Alright. Oh, instrument lights. And I think we're good to shut her down. Shut down. Stop out here and figure out. That light pole's inconveniently placed.
You are all inconveniently misplaced.
Can you not see us?
You were there a second ago, and as I got up to the terminal, you just poof gone.
Okay, go ahead and go over left to the next taxi line. Go and do it. Go ahead and do a 90-degree turn to the left.
Right now?
Yep, now. Now. Okay, go straight. Straight
then
towards
you
the
get-
building.
Oh,
Okay.
all right, I see you on stream. I'm gonna.
Right 90.
Hang, yeah, not yet. Let me get a little closer first.
Well, you're about to run onto the road over there. You're about to run into the building. You gotta remember there's the delay on the stream. I'm not there yet, guys. Wham! Alright, straight.
Go
Go
straight.
straight.
Straight. Nope, still straight.
Nope. Turn left a little bit.
Oh, you meant straight.
Yeah, just.
Don't straighten out.
Just gonna get you a bit closer.
Yeah. Alright. I'll tell you when to turn and face the runway.
Yep.
Turn.
Oh shit! I hit my toe brake. Sorry.
Yeah, scoot on up to the, just not right on the line, but close to it. Actually, a little further. That's good. Stop there. Perfect.
That is hilarious. It's too
Tryna-
bad you dropped off and I can't see you. But
It's-
you want my lights off?
Yeah, go ahead and turn your lights off. And shut your engines down.
Alright.
Actually, I don't know if it's going to show your all's engine shut down or not. Heli, is yours off?
Oh, mine's running. Hold on.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and shut them down. Should make for a pretty cool screenshot right here. Yeah, we're gonna have to come here more often. This place is pretty cool. And it's got a non-default scenery, since it was part of a world update. Let's see, Mike's spooling down. Oh, it went from like 1200 RPM to nothing. There we go. Perfect.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
That'll be a cool screenshot.
I see everyone's just windmilling.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's maybe because you don't have the newest one, because that was a problem. Now it seems to have been fixed to some degree.
No, when Ken and I flew together today with the update, with everything off in his plane, I was looking over and I could see his engine when spinning slowly.
Oh yeah.
Or maybe at like 600 RPM or something, just not full speed. But I was like, wait, what? Should look on your stream. It looks good. We've all got static props. That looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's static.
What? Some pretty nifty screenshots from here. Oh, here we go. That's nice.
Oh, and the sign on the terminal.
Yeah, that's cool. This place is very photogenic. Alright, I got the group photos. Let's grab a couple more. Just random ones. Oh, the colors. There we go. That's nice. Oh, the colors of this right here are awesome. Oh, check out how the propeller, like,
Your nav lights.
folds into the... That's so cool.
Oh, wow. That is awesome.
Yeah. Those colors and reflections are amazing. That's going to be a really good screenshot right there.
Are you posting? Whereabouts are you posting them?
They'll be in the screenshot channel.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I'm going to do some light editing to them beforehand.
Ah.
Oh, you can see the... Check this out. You can see the taxi lines.
Yeah.
And you can see the other airplane next to me. That's awesome.
That is incredible.
Kind of goes away.
I'm watching the stream on YouTube right now.
Oh, okay. That's how you're seeing what he's seeing. Okay.
Yeah.
I've got about maybe like a 10-second lag, but if I just hear what he says, wait, and go, wow, that's amazing. 10 seconds later.
Yeah, look at the colors on this tailpipe.
It's crazy. You know, the 4K down reses to what, 1080 that I'm watching it on stream really well.
Well, I have it down resing to 1440 already. So,
But
oh, look at that. You can see the mountains in the
TBM.
background. Oh, that's cool.
Oh my gosh.
I got a really cool
TBM.
screenshot of the, it was the M500 at Oshkosh of the tailpipe, or the exhaust pipe there.
Yeah, you sent me that photo. That was cool.
Yeah, that was pretty neat. Okay. Alright guys, well, I hope you enjoyed that. I definitely did. That was a lot of fun. A bit of a challenge, a little different than our usual Thursdays, but with the release of the TBM update, we just had to fly. So that, guys, if you have any questions, let me know. If you're interested in the Pimax Crystal, especially with that deal they're offering, the items up to $199, reach out to me and I can tell you how to go through that again. Or you can watch the beginning of the stream where I cover it. So, Diesel, have a good night, buddy. I appreciate you coming again, and I hope you enjoyed that. With that, guys, happy flying.